What's up, you guys, and welcome back to another video. This is now part 2 of the previous video as to why I started my YouTube channel. So if you already watched part 1, then welcome back. And I'm in a better headspace. I'm in a better mood. I'm not gonna cry anymore, because like I said, I don't never get to finish my points of where I need to come from because I'm too in tune with my emotions at the time. So everything gets thrown off the course, which I think is human, right? But it's okay. So I'm back. I'm better. I've let it out, and let's get into it.
A few moments later.
So, proceeding on to my life as a child, growing up into my teenage years, and now into my adulthood. Basically, all I'm trying to say is that I didn't have a lot of support from an emotional standpoint after the divorce happened with my parents. Basically, I've been the reason why I have to deal with a lot that's going on with me personally, because I realized that I'm not going to get that emotional support from the home that I came from. I will get it if I go outside of my home to look for it, but it was a battle consistently, because I always wondered, like, I was always raised on, oh, you don't take what you were going through at home outside your home, or whatever happens in the house stays in the house. But at the same time, I'm like, but the house that's causing me to feel this way is causing me to get to a place of where I need to go out of the house to get some help, or to get someone to like listen to me, or even to like give me some sound advice, like from a realistic standpoint. But it's a pull. It's a consistent tug of war with me and my mind. I was going through the war by myself. My mother had her own issues going on. So like it was absentee during the time that I was battling with what's happening with my mind, and questions that I have, and I don't know if I can ask it because I don't want to get snapped on. I don't want to ask certain things because I don't want to get detoured, or you know what I'm saying? And I've been dealing with this, like I said, from the divorce happened. I was 16 when my father finally exited the home. 16. At 16, you know too much about what's going on around you. So basically, you didn't have to explain to me what is a divorce. I knew what a divorce was. But it was just a matter of now my life is changing so drastically at the blink of an eye, when I've been so accustomed to mommy and daddy. So a lot of areas where my daddy filled where my mommy didn't was now left completely blank from 16. I battled with myself from 16 until I was around 24, 25, and I had to finally get to a place of where I'm like, I gotta cut it, because I hate that I am looking at my life. I'm looking at relationships I'm getting into. And although my relationships are lasting a year and plus, I'm looking at the transition from one relationship to the next. I'm looking at the differences in every guy that I'm dating. I really wasn't, my relationship life didn't consist of a lot of short-term relationships. 2 months, 3 months, 5 months. Like I had one relationship that lasted for legit 2 months. I was 18 at the time. But every other relationship lasted a year or 2 months, a year and a half. And goes on. And I had to stop, and I had to realize that although I'm lasting in my relationships, which is a good thing, I'm also realizing that I'm not giving myself time to really understand me as a person. So a lot of things that I needed to get done, and a lot of things that I wanted to get done, I wasn't doing. I was like putting it on the side, and I was just focused on whatever the hell was literally like this in the front of my face. I wasn't looking at the peripheral side of my vision. I wasn't trying to like look at corners that I'm passing along my journey. I'm doing none of that. So I had to get to that place where I had to say, you got to stop worrying about what other people got to say, baby, because you're never going to be happy with yourself. And I think that's probably why I never started YouTube earlier than I should have. Because my leeway and my gateway, like I said, was when I started the YouTube channel, which was my first one, where I was singing songs that depict my life and what I was going through and what I was battling. And that right there is a sign that I was looking for a gateway. But I fell back. I put myself back because I got back into that zone of hearing my parent tell me, ringing in my head, what happens in your home stays in your home, this, that, and the next, so on and so forth. But I know deep down, I don't believe in that. To me, it never compute to me, because I'm like, sometimes or most of the times, bless you, baby, it's a battle because we suffering from the things what happening in the home. It's the home and what happening in the home as to why I have this mindset, as to why I think a particular way, as to why I feel a particular way. And especially if I'm seeing shit that I don't like, but I am feeling like I don't have the right to address what I got going on. And if I get to the place of building myself up over weeks and months to get there, to get shut down, how the hell you want me to say what happens in the home stays in the home? I am not that character. I never was that person. I always had a problem with that. I never saw the sense in it. You know what I'm saying? All I heard was excuses. It was an excuse to hide what's happening. That's all it was, and that's all it ever. That's the only thing that made sense to me. It's an excuse to hide what happens behind closed doors. That's what it is. Because I don't see no other reason why you're going to be beating in your children's minds that what happens in the home stays in the home. Now, if me and you come and we have a mother-daughter, father-son, mother-son, father-daughter talk, family talk, and we're like certain things we're not going to talk about outside of these walls, then that's different. But if you're going to tell me just randomly and just generally what happens in the home stays in the home, one day that's going to get back to you. That's going to backfire on you, because listen to me. I'm not telling my children that what happens in the home stays in the home. I'm going to have that relationship with them, whereas and I don't need to tell them that because I know what's happening with them. I'm going to be in tune with them. I'm going to be the ship that they're going to have to get on to weather through any bad storm. And even on a smooth sailing day, I'ma still be that ship. That's me. That's what I want. That's what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? But I had too much going on with me, and I had a lot bottled up in me, and I knew what my talents were. I always was into cameras. I always was into creating things. My brain creation, and my brain is literally like how we have intercourse. Now, don't ask me to break down what is the male part and what's the female part, but all I know is that's how well my brain and creation goes together. It just makes sense. Moving on. And it's a matter of looking at the pros if I decide to become that person, and that person is to use the camera. You know what I'm saying? I had way more. My pros outweighed my cons. Basically, the only cons I really could have sat down and thought about that would be an issue was there are going to be some people that are not going to accept you. The people could be the blood or the water. It don't matter. They ain't going to accept it. But your platform that you want to go on is a search engine. It's one of the world's largest search engines. Your story can be heard around the world. Your story could end up in Zimbabwe. Your story could end up in Japan. How you know if your story is not going to reflect on that person and not help that person? You're not going to worry about where you are. See, when we worry about the island we on, we tend to shut down and close down and say, oh, it ain't worth it. But if you go beyond that, if you allow your mind to take you beyond that, then you're gonna see you're gonna see that, oh, the journey, it ain't too bad. You know, it's not bad at all. And I battled with that so much before I even got on my YouTube shit. And I was like, forget, I'ma start. And I started. At that point, I didn't consider nobody but me. And ever since then, that was my mindset and will continue to be my mindset. So my advice is, don't never get into something based on other people's feelings. Get into it because that's your love. Get into it because that is your drive. Get into it because that is your desire. Because you do not know who is watching you. Whether if you're in your own home or in your own community, or if you have platforms upon platforms where you could expound your life, whatever it is. Once you know that you go out those doors that you call a home, people are watching on a different level. Because in your own home, who's ever in your household is watching. So we have to be careful of ourselves. But we also have to be true. So if I'm putting myself out there as this truthful person, this honest person, where I'm blunt and straight up and real, you don't have nothing to look at me for and say I'm a problem. How are you going to look at someone that's speaking the truth as a problem? The fact that you see it as a problem means you have a problem. And I'm not going to stand by you on that, because you ain't pushing me to get where I need to go. All you're doing is pulling me down. And that is why you do not start anything based on people. You start it based on you. God gave you the drive, the desire. He gave you the tingle feelings in your head, in your stomach, after things that you know you've been putting off for so long, or because you want about people. Don't do that. Start today. You're watching my video and you were struggling for a long time as to how you're going to start your channel, what your channel is going to be on, what is going to be my first video, whatever it is, get it done. Sit your backside upon something. Make sure that your face is visible and start the recording. Put yourself out there and be willing to understand that you are going to be hated. But the hate never overrides the love. You always have way more support from your strangers than your own. I'm a living example. My channel is supported more so from foreigners. My content on my Instagram, most of my followers are foreigners. When I get DMs, who is it? It ain't the people from the Bahamas. It's foreigners. Because they're feeling what I'm putting out there. And that's what they rely on. That's their goal, to get from point A to point B. The fact that you're watching this video and you're still here, that means I'm speaking life into you, and I am putting that confidence in you to believe in yourself, because you're going to make it. Don't watch nobody sin. Don't watch nobody flex, because you don't know how they got there. You worry about your journey, and all it takes is for you to start. Don't excuse yourself for people. You've been doing it too long. That's why you're here. It's time to stop, and it's time to realize you matter. Don't never lie on people's name. Don't make up stories on people. But if you're going to do any stories, you make sure it's the damn truth and nothing but the damn truth. Don't worry about the people who ain't going to like it, you know. They only hurting because they don't like that the truth is out there. That's all it is. So, with that being said, that is the end of my story time for part 2. Like I said, go on over to part 1 so that you can fully understand the story time. And I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching. Have a beautiful day. Start your channel. Don't worry about nobody else. Be true to yourself, and once you know that you're true to you, you will be true to anybody else in your life. Remember that and stay strong. I love you. You're beautiful. Thank you. Join the SWS Nation. Like, share, and subscribe. Bye.